Hello friends, welcome back to the series about personal protective equipment for recreational boating safety. And today we're going to be taking a look at the inflatable series of PFDs. So inflatable PFDs come in all shapes and sizes, just like our previous video in the Type 3. They can be categorized as both Type 3, which is more of a general purpose inflatable, and as well as a Type 5, which is what you see here. You're not really going to be able to tell the difference. The biggest difference is going to be, say, a harness on the Type 5s, but you're going to want to take a look again at that inside panel that is going to be the legal information from the Coast Guard. This one has a lot of information. It even has 2 panels. And what you're looking for with this is, again, that function you're looking for. This is a Type 5. So people have all sorts of questions about the inflatables. The biggest benefit you're going to get from an inflatable life jacket is the comfort. This thing just melts away. When you're out on the water, you don't even notice that you're wearing it. However, you're going to want to make sure that you read the inside of that of your PFD carefully, because a Type 5 can legally only be used and meet your legal requirements for having a PFD on the specified activities on that panel. A Type 3 is a general purpose, and it can be used for general activities that you could with a foam insert Type 3. However, Type 5 inflatable PFDs are going to be also pretty generally available and usable for those activities. It'll be specified in that list here. So this one is a Type 5, and it says exactly what it's able to be used for: sailing, boating, etc. So make sure to take a look at that and that you get the right PFD for you. Type 3s are fantastic. However, they have all sorts of gadgets and gizmos you're going to want to take a look at. The first thing is how it inflates. There's really 3 ways for it to inflate. The first is a manual release here. That's going to ignite or not ignite, but set off a CO2 charge. And those charges they can be expensive, and it's a one-time use. So you're going to want to stock up when you get your PFD with a few of those. And it's kind of a pain to stuff it all back together in here once it is inflated. But to reuse it, you're going to have to do that. So just keep in mind, it's not something that you're really going to want to mess with a whole lot, but that's the first way. The second way is, like we all see in those the airline inflatable jackets, you can inflate it manually. This one, once you get it out of the package, has a manual inflation device right here. You can kind of feel it. And the third way is by submersion. And there's a myth where that if it gets wet, it's going to inflate for you, and that's not really the case. There are some, and I don't really recommend those. Those are not Coastie Chris approved, because if you're out on the water, if you're in a kayak or a boat, and you get sprayed on and you're gonna get wet, you don't want it going off accidentally. So what I recommend is the ones that have it's a pressurized pressure sensor. When you get submerged, those will go off, and it's based on the pressure of the water, and it'll set those off there. So those are the main ways that inflatable life jackets inflate, and they work. A lot of people have a concern that they don't work. There's plenty of other YouTube videos that I recommend. Perhaps I'll do one with this one later where I inflate it, but rest assured that these do work. They wouldn't make them if they didn't work. And I even wear this with the Coast Guard, and they absolutely work. In fact, when they are inflated, they will keep you afloat better in a lot of cases than your other Type 3 PFDs. And what I mean by that is that generally inflatable PFDs, they have more newtons and more buoyancy when they're inflated. So a regular Type 3 has about 16 pounds with a foam insert. An inflatable one has about 22 pounds of buoyancy. So it's a little better. However, that buoyancy is constricted to just this area. You're not really going to have anything in the back. Some Type 5 versions of those, and some Type 3s will have a back neck panel that also inflates. Those are great. I highly recommend you get one of those because if you do go in the water, it's really just going to be pushing up on your neck, and you're going to also want to get a strap or a harness if you can. A lot of the Type 5 versions will have a harness so that it helps disperse that buoyancy, and you're not just buoyant on your neck being pushed up that way. Because it is trying to make up for the fact that you're only buoyant in one area by having more buoyancy. This is a Type 5. Type 5 versions of the inflatable PFDs are going to have potentially a little bit more buoyancy because you're using it for a specialized purpose. And so a lot of the Type 5 versions are going to be used for sailors who are going to be on, say, the Great Lakes or in the ocean, and you're going to need more buoyancy. So with a Type 5 version, this one I think is 34 pounds or 155 newtons, and it's because I'm going to be using this on heavier waters on Lake Michigan, and it's really choppy, and I wanted a little bit more, and the Coast Guard wanted me to have a little bit more buoyancy to go with that. So I hope you found this helpful, and when you go out to get yourself an inflatable one, I highly recommend that you find one that's usable for the activity that you're doing. One of the drawbacks is that if you are water skiing or if you're on a personal watercraft, a jet ski, these aren't going to be impact resistant. So if you hit the water hard, or if you're in your boat and you have a boating accident, you're shook around a little bit. There's some pretty gnarly videos about people who have broken bones and just really wild, fast impact crashes that you can see online. This isn't going to help you. Your foam one is going to be better if you're going to do anything that has the potential for impact, whether you expect it with water skis or if you don't with a jet ski or a boat. I highly recommend, again, you get the one that's going to fit your purpose. However, of all the personal protective equipment that you're going to be wearing for recreational boating, this is the one that I recommend if you're looking for comfort, because this thing is so comfortable, and you feel cool wearing it. You have that sense of inner peace, knowing that you are protected and that you're being responsible. And I recommend you get this. It's very easy to stow. Just keep it in a backpack or just carry it if you're going to a rental shop. And when you rent your boat, rent your kayak, you're going to be better protected than most people around you that are using the rental properties, PFDs. So I hope you guys have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment down below, and check out some merchandise if you'd like. And Semper Paratus. Take care. Bye now.